Hi, I'm Jill Goodwin, and I worked at The Late Show, starting as an intern, and then a receptionist, then assistant to Jude Brennan and Barbara Gaines, then a writer's assistant, and finally I was a writer on the show from 2010 to 2015. One of my favorite memories of the show is when I was assistant to the executive producers. One of my jobs was keeping track of monologue jokes that freelancers would send in. One night I'm sitting through and I see all the regular names of freelancers, and then there's a sheet that said Carson. That's when I learned that Johnny Carson would send in monologue jokes for Dave via fax. I would just get to read a raw page of Johnny Carson jokes. Then I would make sure that he got his $75 check or whatever.
This is kind of exciting. These guys have built this rocket ship and they're sending people into outer space. It's unbelievable. They went up and they set new records, new altitude records for civilian spacecraft, 50 miles into space. 50, and from that height, you know this probably, there are two man-made things that are visible from 50 miles up. One, of course, is the Great Wall of China, and the other, Donald Trump's hair. That's right. Two things. I owe everything in my professional career, whatever success we've attained, to Johnny Carson, because he was nice enough to give me the opportunity, and throughout my career was always very supportive. As a matter of fact, every one of those jokes I did a few minutes ago were written for us over the last couple of months by Johnny Carson, and tremendous act of friendship.
So when I was a writer's assistant, I got a call from my best friend Emily, who lived in Des Moines, Iowa, and was a news reporter at the time. She said, "I'm at this press conference and our lieutenant governor is giving a speech about swine flu, and she can't stop coughing." And coughing and sneezing were, I guess, some of the symptoms of swine flu at the time. And I talked to the head writers. They said, "Yeah, let's take a look." They showed it to Dave before the show, and he liked it, and it aired that night.
Those procedures are in place, and we're following them. Excuse me. Just a second.
Wait a minute. Patty? Patty, are you?
I think I just couldn't.
Okay, sure. Yeah, maybe you better. Yeah, we'll give you a call tomorrow. Wow. That's a confidence builder, isn't it?
One of the kind of most ridiculous things that I got on the show, I think, too many times, was this Dick Cheney animation. So I asked graphics to make a very rudimentary kind of device that we would see. It would just look really, really silly and childlike. You know, it aired that night, haha. Dave continued to throw to that I think 15 times. It was always kind of like, well, this was just supposed to be a very dumb one-off, but it's the kind of thing where if it tickles him that he'll just remember it and keep going to it.
Do you like medical science and the advancements? I mean, when you see stuff, Dick Cheney is hooked up to a battery-powered heart pump. That's what keeps him alive. He has no pulse because it's... he doesn't. That's true. It has no pulse because it's all pumped by a machine. He talked about it and showed you the mechanism on the Today Show earlier. Here, look at this. It's fascinating. Watch.
It's a wondrous device. It's really a miracle of modern technology.
And you have a battery pack.
I wear it on a vest. And there's a control element here. And then two batteries on each side. You're good for about 12 hours each.
It looked like it was giving off a little smoke there.
We'd often have to write monologue interrupts for Dave. One of mine that I enjoyed was St. Pat Farmer.
Well, look at that, you got the green, I got the...
Yes, it's...
And by the way, I don't want to interrupt you, but Patrick, St. Patrick, and so congratulations on celebrating your namesake day, St. Patrick's Day. You're Patrick.
Thank you, Dave. And you're not going to believe this, but I'm also a saint.
No. Now, that's cute, and I understand maybe a little... But I don't think you're actually a saint. What makes you a saint?
Well, I am, Dave. Well, for one thing, I've put up with your bull for 22 years. Good night, everybody.
What did he say?
So in one of my pitches for one of Dave's birthdays was a cake that reads "Happy Birthday, Asshole," to make it a little less obvious. Half of the word happy, half of the word birthday, and then just whole at the end. And I remember people saying, like, "You call Dave an asshole?" And I'm like, "Thought that's what we did." Yeah, we do that all the time on this show. That's one of the things.
And the staff, God bless them, and I said, please, don't, let's don't go crazy here. Don't do anything, because it's going to be embarrassing, and your adoration is all I want.
Yes.
But we had a little cake. Were you up there for the cake?
Of course I was.
Here, I got late. Take a look at the cake. It's just beautiful.
So we'd go to the Super Bowl with Biff. Biff was game for anything. I don't remember what the joke was. It involved a wig and a mustache, and it must have been like, I've been doing this forever. And then, here's me at my first Super Bowl, and, he'd have a full head of hair. He couldn't get the wig on him correctly.
This is an itchy old cheap ass piece of
a lot of times we'd get the directive, think of stuff that Dave can do without having to leave the desk. So it was Easter, I did do-it-yourself peeps. So Dave bought into that and he colored the peep himself and he actually ate it. And I remember thinking like, oh gosh, I hope they use the food safe markers, and I hope I hope it doesn't stain his teeth, because for a split second his tongue was black and I was like, should I go home now? I didn't know what was gonna happen.
Then you take a thing, and if you want them yellow, you just...
Coloring it with a yellow highlighter.
Yeah. Now look, you telling me...
Let me see what you got.
There, look at that.
That's exactly. Sure. Actually, it looks very cute. It's a character, yes. Nicely done, it's beautiful. And the proof is in the, No,
no, you shouldn't, no, I wouldn't eat them.
One of my most comical and slightly traumatic memories is from a pre-tape, and it involved an audience member getting shot or stabbed or something and blood squirting from him. The squib went the wrong direction. The blood splattered behind the camera and covered me from head to toe. So I'm just standing there covered in fake blood as the audience is loading in. And it also happened to be when David Crosby and Graham Nash were trying to rehearse. I just turn up and see David Crosby look at me just with pity. As an intern, you would get asked to be an extra in remotes or pre-tapes. I wasn't used to it as a writer, but I felt very honored to be asked to be in a top 10 towards the end of the show. And so all you want to do is make Dave laugh, and it did. And so I was just glad I was number 9, got it out of the way, and ended up being a great experience.
Okay, thoughts that they have had, recurring thoughts, 4,000 times at least. That's the number of shows. This is the number of times they've had those thoughts. Number 9, writer Jill Goodwin.
Maybe today I'll get to meet Dave.
Well, maybe you will, maybe you won't.
This one is a testament to how great our graphics department was at The Late Show. They were revealing the Queen's portrait. So we took real footage, and as it comes down, the idea was to make the Queen look naked. We actually used a photo of the painting of B. Arthur naked that had sold for like $1 million+ the year before. I just remember that graphic being really skillfully done for a very, very silly joke.
What I'm trying to say is they unveiled the official royal portrait of the Queen. I think you'll enjoy this. Watch. Oh, bro, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
The day of the last Late Show was insane, and I don't think I realized that this piece aired until I saw it on the show that night. Everyone's gathered round for a party to say goodbye to Dave, but Dave can't be bothered to actually show up and say goodbye, so we hologram him in.
Speaking of emotional farewells, here now is my goodbye farewell statement to the staff that took place earlier today. I hope you enjoy this.
Crack open wine. I don't plan on doing any work tonight.
Bye. That was moving for all of us.
One of everyone's favorite late show guests was Bill Murray. I had the pleasure of getting a couple of my things picked for his entrances. He always did memorable entrances. One was Dave announces that Bill Murray's here, come on out. He doesn't come out. Cut to 53rd Street, a bound and gagged Bill Murray is let out of the back of an SUV. Bill Murray really got into the part, so thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and the only Bill Murray.
Just don't kill me. Just don't kill me, please. God, I got kids. You guys are Americans. What's the deal? Why you guys are Americans? Oh, God.
Bill. Wow. Bill, what, for God's sakes, what was that all about?
It's nice to be back.
Yeah. Well, nice to have you back. Are you okay?
Holiday's gonna be rough this year.
Yeah.
I'd often have to take papers to Dave's office. I'm Dave, you're me. Okay. Okay, just hand me the paper, okay? No, just hand me the paper. No, just, okay. Okay. Thank you, Jill.